Data suggests that conditions on Pluto could be similar to those on some of Jupiter's moons, where life might exist. And the most astonishing part? This heart could be hiding even more mysteries, waiting for us to uncover them. The spacecraft Voyager 1 has become a true record breaker, leaving the solar system and becoming the first man-made object to reach interstellar space. Imagine this. At the time of its launch, it was equipped with just one primary mission: to study the outer planets like Jupiter and Saturn. But this is more than just a spacecraft. It's a true messenger of humanity, carrying a message for extraterrestrial civilizations. On board Voyager 1 is a golden record with recordings of Earth's sounds, images of people and nature, and information about our planet, so any potential extraterrestrial being could learn about us. And now, after 36 years of travel, Voyager 1 has crossed the boundary of the heliosphere, where solar wind no longer dominates. But that's not all. It is now more than 23 billion kilometers away from Earth. For comparison, that's about 8 times the distance from Earth to the Sun. In this vast expanse, Voyager 1 continues to send data about magnetic fields and cosmic rays, helping scientists better understand the conditions in the interstellar medium. But what's even more astonishing, Voyager 1 is moving at a speed of about 15 kilometers per second. And even after decades, its data will continue to reach Earth thanks to its nuclear battery, which will last for several more decades. These conditions may not be unique. Scientists have discovered many other exoplanets where physics follows completely different laws than on our Earth. The Great Wall of Sloan is not just an astronomical anomaly, but a true colossus stretching over 1,370,000,000 light-years. Imagine a structure where thousands of galaxies are concentrated, forming an incredibly massive pavilion in the universe. It's hard to imagine that this is just one of many such formations discovered by astronomers, but this wall stands out due to its enormous size. How is it possible that such massive structures can exist in space? All thanks to the gravitational interaction of galaxies, which leads to the formation of vast clusters consisting of hundreds of thousands of star systems. The Great Wall of Sloan was first discovered in 1989, when astronomers studying the celestial sphere noticed that certain regions of space appeared significantly more densely packed with galaxies than others. You might think that such distances make observing the wall difficult, but astronomers use special methods to study such distant objects, including spectroscopy and photometry. And now, the most astonishing fact. This structure contains around 7,000 galaxies, and their distribution is not uniform. Some areas are so densely packed that not even light can penetrate, which seems to be able to reach us. Do you know what's even more shocking? This wall is not static. It continues to evolve, changing its shape and density under the influence of gravity. Each time we look into this corner of the cosmos, new galaxies and new mysteries are revealed. Some of these galaxies are in the process of formation, allowing astronomers to study how new stars are born and what happens in their interiors. Moreover, the Great Wall of Sloan is part of a larger structure known as the Great Wall of Laniakea, which spans around 130 million light-years. Each of these galaxies can contain billions of stars and possibly even planets where forms of life may exist. But that's not all. The structure is surrounded by enormous voids, where there are practically no galaxies, creating a striking contrast with the dense regions. These voids, known as voids or vacuums, can tell us about how the overall structure of the universe formed. And just when we think all the mysteries are revealed, new discoveries continue to emerge, raising even more questions. Research continues, and each new discovery opens up possibilities for amazing insights into what life might look like in such extreme conditions. And the craziest part? On these planets, there could be rain from molten metals. Located in the constellation of Taurus is the Crab Nebula, and it's not just a beautiful astronomical phenomenon. It is the remnant of a supernova explosion that occurred more than 900 years ago. Its light was so bright that it could be observed from Earth. Imagine, in 1544, Chinese astronomers documented this explosion, making it one of the first confirmations of such powerful cosmic events. The nebula that formed as a result of this catastrophe now spans a distance of about 6 light-years, comparable to the distance from Earth to the nearest star, Proxima Centauri. It has been calculated that in the central part of the Crab Nebula lies a neutron star, whose mass is twice that of our Sun, but its diameter is only 20 kilometers. This means that such a star possesses an incredible density and gravity. 1 cubic centimeter of this matter weighs around 4 billion tons, which is 1,000 times heavier than the heaviest metal on Earth, osmium. And this is where it gets even more fascinating. The Crab Nebula emits millions of times more energy than all the suns in our galaxy combined. This phenomenon offers a unique opportunity to study the processes occurring during supernova explosions and their impact on the surrounding space. But what is even more astonishing is that the nebula is not just static. It expands at an incredible speed, reaching over 1 million kilometers per hour. This means that every moment it changes before the eyes of astronomers, leaving traces of its history in the form of new elements such as carbon and oxygen, which later can become part of new stars and planets. The Crab Nebula is a true laboratory of cosmic chemistry and physics, where scientists can study how the elements necessary for life are born out of colossal catastrophes. Imagine this. Each pulsar is not just a star, but a cosmic lighthouse illuminating the dark corners of our galaxy, and perhaps even beyond. In the center of some galaxies, there are quasars, objects that are remarkable not only for their size, but also for their incredible brightness. The luminosity of quasars can exceed the luminosity of 1 trillion stars, making them the brightest objects in the universe. But how do they achieve such colossal energy? The secret lies in the active cores of galaxies, which contain supermassive black holes. Around these black holes, there are enormous clouds of gas and dust that, upon entering the gravitational field, heat up to incredible temperatures. Do you know what happens when gas heats up to millions of degrees? It begins to emit light in the X-ray range and releases colossal energy flows. Now imagine this. A quasar can emit light visible even from billions of light years away from Earth. It's fascinating that quasars were only discovered in the middle of the 20th century, with the first one, designated as Quasar 11, found in 1962. And here's where it gets really mind-boggling. Quasars can exist in different forms, from actively accreting gas to those that emit powerful particle jets reaching millions of light years in length. These jets can interact with the surrounding medium, creating extraordinary cosmic phenomena like luminous nebulae. If you thought that was all, think again. Quasars can change their brightness in just a few days, indicating that their sizes cannot exceed the size of our solar system. Isn't that fantastic? Research shows that quasars can form as a result of galaxy mergers when they begin to accrete a vast amount of gas and dust. This leads to the activation of the black hole, and, consequently, the formation of a quasar. But what's even more astonishing? During their existence, quasars can influence the evolution of the entire galaxy, heating up the surrounding matter and even stopping the formation of new stars. And the most astonishing thing? Each gamma-ray burst is like a cosmic signal that can reveal the most extreme conditions in the universe. On Pluto, scientists have discovered a region that has astonished them with its unusual format. A heart made of frozen nitrogen, methane, and carbon dioxide. Imagine this bright zone being the size of the 13th largest state in the United States. The structure of this heart, named Sputnik, is composed of vast ice-covered plains that appear as a smooth surface, with its edges bordered by mountains reaching up to 3 kilometers in height. But that's not the most remarkable part. In the center of the heart lies an area filled with bubbles that could be remnants of ancient glacial processes. What's even more astonishing? Around this area, scientists found complex geological formations that suggest Pluto might not be as dead as we thought. These structures hint at the presence of a subsurface ocean that could maintain heat and support certain forms of life. Furthermore, the temperature on Pluto reaches minus 260 degrees Celsius. But even under these conditions, nitrogen can remain in its liquid form due to pressure. This discovery raises many questions about how this planet formed and what processes are occurring on its surface. Now, imagine that the heart of Pluto could change over time, much like it does on Earth. Scientists suggest that temperature changes could cause the movement of ice, creating new geological forms. And here's where it gets really mind-boggling. Analysis of data from the New Horizons probe indicates that this area could have formed just a few million years ago, challenging our notions of Pluto's stability. Remarkably, the heart is not just a geographical object, but a true enigmatic symbol that makes us question how little we know about our solar system. Remember, every step an astronaut took on the moon is not just a moment in history, but a trace that will speak of us for many centuries to come. In the cosmos, there exist objects that can evoke surprise and admiration for their power. These are blazars. These mysterious phenomena are quasars, whose jets, or matter outbursts, are directed straight at Earth. But what does this mean? Imagine matter being ejected from a black hole at speeds exceeding the speed of light. And this is not science fiction, but reality. Blazars can emit energy equivalent to 30 billion solar luminosities, making them some of the brightest objects in the universe. Did you know that such powerful matter outbursts can reach lengths of millions of light years? This is equivalent to the distance to the nearest star, which is just 4 light years away from our planet. And now, the most shocking part. Blazars can be active for billions of years, and during this time, their jets are constantly focused on one point: our Earth. This creates an effect where we can observe them as a kind of cosmic lighthouse, emitting light and radio waves. Research shows that the interaction of a blazar with its surroundings can lead to the formation of new star systems, making them not only interesting to observe, but also significant for studying the processes of galaxy formation. But this is not the strangest thing. In recent years, astronomers have discovered that some blazars can change their brightness by tens of times in just a few days, challenging our understanding of the stability of such objects. Have you ever wondered how this is possible? The secret lies in the complex structure of the jets of blazars, consisting of numerous separate streams that can interact with each other. This creates real fireworks in space, which we can observe from Earth, even though they are located at distances of more than 1 billion light years. And what is even more shocking, some of these jets can be so powerful that they can eject matter with a mass equivalent to 2 million suns into intergalactic space, disrupting the balance in surrounding galaxies. Scientists continue to study these phenomena, and each new fact opens doors to understanding how our universe is structured. Blazars are not just objects of study. They are real keys to solving many cosmic mysteries that await their hour. And this is just the beginning, as our galaxy holds many more mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Imagine an event that releases more energy in a fraction of a second than our Sun does over its entire lifespan. This is a gamma-ray burst. Scientists assert that these cosmic phenomena can be so powerful that their radiation can incinerate all life on a planet located several thousand light years away. What triggers these explosions? Scientific research shows that gamma-ray bursts occur due to the collapse of a massive star into a black hole, or the merger of neutron stars, resulting in the release of incredible amounts of energy. These bursts can last from a few milliseconds to several hours, and their brightness can exceed that of an entire galaxy. Some of them occur so far away that their light takes billions of years to reach Earth. What's most astonishing? Gamma-ray bursts can release up to 1 million times more energy than a typical supernova. This means that if one of these bursts were to occur in our galaxy, it could wipe out life on Earth in just a few seconds. Scientists classify gamma-ray bursts into 2 types: short and long. Short bursts can last less than 2 seconds, while long bursts can last more than 2, and their mechanisms are still the subject of active research. But that's not the most peculiar part. In 2000, astronomers detected a burst so powerful that its energy was comparable to what the Sun releases over 1 billion years. And that's where things get really strange. Gamma-ray bursts occur at a rate of 1 to 2 per day throughout the universe, but only some of them are directed towards Earth. 8 years ago, in 2015, researchers discovered a burst that occurred more than 4 billion light years away from us. This means we were witnessing an event that took place at the dawn of our universe's formation. If you thought that was remarkable, wait for this. There are theories that gamma-ray bursts could be linked to dark matter and even the possibility of creating mini black holes. The universe is full of mysteries, and each new discovery brings us closer to understanding these powerful cosmic phenomena. Gamma-ray bursts are not just explosions. They are the key to unraveling the greatest mysteries of the cosmos. Each of these galaxies could contain billions of its own planets, and on some of them, life completely different from ours might exist. Imagine the diversity of beings that could inhabit these distant worlds. Every day, approximately 100 tons of cosmic material fall to Earth. And this is not just dust. It is actual debris that can tell us about the formation of our planet and even the early stages of life's development. Imagine millions of microscopic particles born in the depths of distant stars penetrating our atmosphere. These tiny meteoroids, weighing only a few grams or even milligrams, burn up in the atmosphere, creating bright flashes of light that we observe as meteors or falling stars. Did you know that in just one night, we can see up to 100 meteors, and this is just a small fraction of what actually falls on our planet? But what is truly astonishing is that a large part of this cosmic material consists of remnants of comets and asteroids that traverse space at incredible speeds, reaching up to 130 kilometers per second. How can such debris survive the harsh conditions of space? The secret lies in their small size and robust structure. Each year, scientists find dozens of meteorite samples that have been on Earth for millions of years, allowing us to peer into the past of our solar system. For example, a meteorite that fell in Siberia in 1912 contained amino acids, which are the building blocks of life. This discovery made many scientists wonder, could life on Earth have an extraterrestrial origin? And that's not all. Some meteoroids may contain water frozen for billions of years. Imagine that there are entire oceans in the depths of space that could potentially support life. But that's not the most incredible thing. Did you know that meteoroids can carry not only water, but also organic molecules necessary for life, such as carbon compounds? In 1969, a meteorite was found containing over 100 different organic compounds. This discovery made scientists rethink how life could have arisen on Earth and where else it might exist. Every time we look at the night sky, we are not just seeing stars. We are seeing stories that could change our understanding of the universe. And this is just the beginning. The hexagonal storm continues to amaze with its unexpected changes and mysteries that still need to be solved. Astronomers and astronauts who have ventured into open space often mention a strange phenomenon known as cosmic smell. Imagine being in Earth's orbit and suddenly detecting an aroma that can be described as a mix of hot metal, welding, and cooked meat. This is not just a metaphor. Researchers have found that this smell is caused by particles that settle on astronauts' spacesuits during their spacewalks. How is this possible? When spacesuits are exposed to cosmic rays and high-energy particles, they interact with the materials that make up the protective suits. As a result, unique chemical compounds are formed, which create this unusual aroma. But that's not all. Due to the lack of air in space, smells do not disperse in the usual way. Astronauts only begin to perceive this aroma after returning to the spacecraft, when the spacesuits start to come into contact with oxygen. What's most striking? NASA specialists conducted experiments to determine which molecules are responsible for this phenomenon and found that they are likely remnants of burning and oxidation that occurred in the spacesuits. One astronaut, after a spacewalk, described the smell as like it awakens your primal instincts. Do you know what else? Astronauts report that when they experience this cosmic smell, time seems to slow down for them. This could be related to how our brains process new and unexpected sensations. The sensation of this aroma can be so strong that some astronauts even experience nostalgia for Earth, recalling the smells of cooked meat and campfire smoke. Studying the cosmic smell opens doors to understanding how humans can adapt to living in environments far removed from our familiar surroundings. What other secrets does this aromatic phenomenon hide? The question is, how many more such mysteries does the universe hold? Perhaps we are only beginning to understand how these amazing objects function, and each new quasar opens up new horizons in cosmic research. On Titan, Saturn's moon, there are methane lakes that cover an area larger than all the Great Lakes combined on Earth. Imagine these vast bodies of water filled with liquid methane, reflecting the bright rays of the sun, creating mysterious landscapes reminiscent of ancient Earth. Titan's atmosphere is composed of 96% nitrogen, which means it closely resembles the conditions that existed on our planet billions of years ago. However, what is truly astonishing is that the surface pressure on Titan is nearly 1.5 times greater than on Earth, creating unique conditions for study. One of the largest methane oceans, known as Kraken, spans over 1 million square kilometers and has a depth of up to 100 meters. What's even more remarkable, the temperature on Titan reaches minus 175 degrees Celsius, making it one of the coldest objects in the solar system. Yet, it is in these extreme conditions that scientists search for clues about how life might have evolved in other corners of the universe. Titan even has cycles similar to Earth's: methane rains that form rivers and lakes, as well as atmospheric clouds that constantly change. However, despite these similarities, life here could be entirely different. Research conducted by the Cassini spacecraft has shown that methane lakes may contain complex organic molecules that could potentially serve as building blocks for life. Now, imagine that there could be not only simple organisms, but also more complex forms of life adapted to such cold conditions. And here's what's truly mind-boggling. In Titan's atmosphere, scientists have discovered the presence of complex hydrocarbons that can interact with each other, forming new molecules. And now imagine how many more mysteries the cosmos may hold. If even in such distant and cold places we find such captivating facts. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, hides between 100 and 400 billion stars, and this is just a small part of the vast cosmos. Imagine that each star is a luminous body that could have its own planets, moons, and even systems similar to ours. But wait, this is just the beginning. The entire universe contains around 2 trillion galaxies. This number is so vast that it's hard to grasp. If each galaxy were the size of our house, we would need an entire continent to accommodate them all. The Milky Way itself has a diameter of about 130,000 light-years, and at its center lies a black hole with a mass equal to 4 million solar masses. It's intriguing that among these billions of stars, some are located at distances of up to tens of billions of light-years from us. How did they come to be? Scientific research shows that stars form from clouds of gas and dust, and this process can take millions of years. In some corners of the universe, stars have been found that have existed for more than 30 billion years, challenging all our notions of time. And here arises the question, what is the fate of these stars? Some of them may explode as supernovae, creating elements necessary for the emergence of life. Did you know that all heavy elements, such as gold and carbon, were formed in the interiors of stars? When a star dies, it ejects these elements into space, thereby enriching it. As a result, when we look at the starry sky, we see not just points of light, but entire stories. And what's even more astonishing, it is quite possible that in the future we may find something more than just water there. On the planet HD 189733b, rain does not fall from water, but from glass shards. Imagine this. The temperature on this exoplanet reaches around 1,000 degrees Celsius. Now imagine wind speeds up to 8,700 kilometers per hour. It's as if a hurricane from a horror movie had slipped off the cover and landed on a planet where the atmosphere is made of exotic gases and clouds filled with silicates. In such conditions, glass simply cannot fail to form. The compression of vapors and subsequent cooling turns them into tiny sharp shards that, like a bomber, fall onto the planet's surface. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to walk in the rain of glass shards? On HD 189733b, this is not science fiction, but a harsh reality. But that's not all. In such conditions, life as we know it could not exist. Water droplets here are not just hot. They hit the surface with such force that they become tiny whirlwinds, tearing everything in their path. And the atmosphere, composed of hydrogen, helium, and other exotic gases, creates an indescribable color palette where the sky shimmers in blue and violet hues. Have you ever wondered what it looks like? Something extraordinary, isn't it? But what is even more shocking is that the planet is only 36 light-years away from Earth. This means it is within reach even for the most daring dreamers of space travel. However, to reach it, one would have to pass through a series of technological and scientific breakthroughs. What do you think this planet might hide? Perhaps we still have a chance to unravel its mysteries, and with each new discovery, we get closer to understanding what happens on other worlds. But HD 189733b already amazes scientists with its strange atmospheric phenomena and harsh conditions that seem to leave no chance for life. And the most incredible thing? Each new discovery makes us ponder the incredible diversity and complexity of our cosmos. On Jupiter, a gigantic storm known as the Great Red Spot has been raging for more than 350 years. This is not just a cloud, but a powerful storm that is larger than our entire planet. Inside this storm, 3 Earths could fit. Imagine a hurricane on one of the largest objects in our solar system, with a diameter of around 40,000 kilometers. Its winds can reach speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour, making it one of the most powerful atmospheric phenomena known to humanity. But that's not all. The color of this storm varies from bright red to orange, making it not only powerful, but also a spectacular object for astronomers to study. Scientists believe that its intensity and size are explained by unique atmospheric conditions on Jupiter, where there is no solid surface, and gases like hydrogen and helium mix in complex patterns. If you think this is just a giant cloud, consider this. The temperature in the upper layers of the Great Red Spot can reach minus 150 degrees Celsius, while in its depths it is much higher. How is this possible? The answer lies in the fact that heat is preserved under the cloud layer, which is released by the planet itself, creating a kind of thermal dynamics within the storm. But wait, there are even more fascinating details. Scientists have noticed that over the past few decades, the storm has significantly decreased in size, which is cause for concern. What will happen if it disappears completely? This could not only change the atmospheric conditions on Jupiter, but also affect its moons, such as Europa, where an ocean may be hidden under the icy crust. And the question remains, what will be the consequences of the disappearance of this giant storm for the entire solar system? Does dark energy have properties that we have yet to discover? Perhaps this is just the beginning of a long journey to understanding how our universe works and the secrets it still hides. On Mars is located the highest mountain in the solar system, the volcano Olympus, which reaches a height of 21 kilometers 900 meters, which is 2.5 times higher than Mount Everest. This colossal volcano can boast a base that is equal in size to the entire country of France, and its diameter is approximately 600 kilometers. But that's not all. Olympus is surrounded by a vast crater with a diameter of almost 130 kilometers, where powerful eruptions may have once occurred. When we think of volcanoes on Earth, we imagine giants like Kilimanjaro or Fuji. But the scale of Olympus is completely different. The volcano formed over millions of years, and its age may exceed billions of years, making it one of the oldest active volcanoes in our solar system. Did you know that due to the low gravity on Mars, the volcano can grow significantly taller than on Earth? This happens because the Martian atmosphere is too thin to stop its growth. Volcano Olympus, in addition to its height, has incredibly gentle slopes that reach angles of only 8 degrees, which also distinguishes it from most Earth volcanoes, whose slopes are much steeper. And now, the most fascinating part. On its summit, you can find a flat area that may have once been home to a huge crater filled with lava. This place, where scientists believe there could have been ancient magmatic activity. But do you know what's even more astonishing? Beneath Olympus may lie a reservoir of water that could exist in liquid form, according to some models. This opens up many questions about the possibility of life on Mars. And if that's not enough, imagine that Olympus is also accompanied by vast plains where the remains of ancient lava flows that once flowed down its slopes can be found. These traces can tell us a lot about the planet's geological activity. These interactions raise questions about the possibility of living organisms in such conditions. Ultimately, Titan is not just a satellite of Saturn, but a true object of study that opens doors to worlds we could not have even imagined before. Imagine this. You find yourself at the edge of a black hole, and suddenly your body starts stretching like spaghetti. This effect is known as cosmic spaghetti, and it occurs due to the extreme gravity acting on an object falling into a black hole. As the body approaches the event horizon, the difference in gravitational pull between its nearest and farthest parts becomes so strong that it stretches it into a long, thin thread. Scientific research shows that if a person were on this path, their body would stretch to several hundred meters before disappearing into infinity. The reason for this is that black holes have infinite density and incredible gravitational force that overcomes any known forces holding molecules together. Calculations have shown that an object falling into a black hole can experience acceleration up to 30,000 times greater than Earth's gravity. But that's not all. As an object approaches a black hole, it not only stretches but also compresses, as if trying to make it flat in the direction perpendicular to its motion. This creates an effect where a person or object falling into a black hole resembles a ribbon stretched over vast distances. But wait, there's an even more fascinating aspect. At the moment an object reaches the event horizon, it may appear to slow down, and its light gradually disappears. This phenomenon occurs due to the strong curvature of space-time created by the black hole. Light waves emitted by the falling object are bent so that they never reach an observer. Thus, even as an object disappears, we can still see it as if it were frozen at the edge of the black hole. From a physics perspective, this raises a mystery. What happens to information when an object falls into a black hole? Research in this area continues, and theories such as the lost information hypothesis challenge our understanding of the very existence of matter and information in the cosmos. Did you know that black holes can be not only the final destination, but also a potential gateway to other universes? This idea is based on the concept of wormholes, which can connect different points in space and time. Research continues, and each new discovery opens up new horizons for understanding not only Jupiter, but also the nature of storms in general. In space, molecules of alcohol have been discovered, and this is not just a coincidence. Scientists have found ethanol in vast clouds of gas from which stars are formed. Imagine that in these clouds, where temperatures can reach -200 degrees Celsius, a new star is forming, and along with it, molecules that we call alcohol. These molecules can make up to 30% of the total chemical compounds in certain regions where star formation is taking place. Did you know that ethanol is just one of many organic compounds found in space? Scientific research has shown that these gas clouds also contain methanol and a whole range of other complex organic molecules that could be precursors to life. But that's not the most astonishing part. Studies conducted with the ALMA radio telescope have found these molecules in regions such as the Orion Nebula, which is located about 1,300 light-years from Earth. This discovery not only changes our understanding of chemistry in space, but also raises important questions. How do these molecules affect the formation of planetary systems? Recall how Earth and other planets formed. They could have absorbed these molecules, which could have sparked the emergence of life. Now imagine that in other parts of the galaxy, there might be planets with conditions similar to those on Earth, where alcohol and other organic compounds have already begun their work in creating life. If you thought that was amazing, wait until you hear this. Recent research has shown that some molecules similar to those found in space can be detected even in the atmospheres of exoplanets. This discovery opens up new horizons for astrobiology and the search for extraterrestrial life. Furthermore, experts suggest that alcohol molecules may play a role in the formation of comets and asteroids, which in turn could carry these compounds to Earth. Scientific research has shown that WASP-12b may be the key to understanding exoplanets that inhabit such extreme conditions, opening new horizons for astronomy. Each new discovery makes us wonder, what other mysteries does the universe hold? In the center of our Milky Way galaxy lies a supermassive black hole named Sagittarius A star, whose mass is 4 million times greater than that of our Sun. Imagine this. One black hole with such powerful gravity that it can hold a star, which is tens of times larger than our Sun, in its grasp. But that's not all. The event horizon of Sagittarius A star is approximately 36,000 kilometers in radius, which is twice the distance from Earth to the Moon. Now, picture the space around this black hole. Billions of stars and gas clouds rotating at colossal speeds under the influence of its gravitational field. For scientists, this is a true laboratory where they can observe the laws of physics in extreme conditions. But what is truly astonishing? To capture the first image of this black hole, a network of 8 radio telescopes was created around the world, the Event Horizon Telescope Project. In 2018, they presented the first image, which showed the shadow of the black hole surrounded by a bright ring of hot gas and dust. This moment was a breakthrough in astronomy, confirming Albert Einstein's theories on gravity. What do you think it would be like to be so close to an object that can swallow everything that comes near it? Sagittarius. A star is not just a black hole. It is a window into the study of the laws of the universe and the mysteries it holds. Moreover, astronomers suggest that black holes may play a key role in the formation and evolution of galaxies, including our own. But that's not the most amazing thing. Recent research indicates that there may be not one, but several black holes in the central region of the Milky Way, formed as a result of star mergers and other black hole collisions. And the most astonishing thing of all? In some cases, black holes can swallow stars, destroying them and creating light bursts that can be observed from Earth. Pense nisso. Talvez estejamos na véspera de descobrimento que reverterá todas as nossas ideias sobre o cosmos e o lugar do homem nele. The observable universe is approximately 93 billion light-years in diameter, which presents a genuine puzzle. How can the space, which is only 13.8 billion years old, expand to such colossal dimensions? The universe is not just expanding, it is doing so at an accelerating pace. When we talk about light years, we refer to the distance light travels in 1 year, which is approximately 9,400,000,000,000 kilometers. When we look at objects at the edges of the observable universe, we see them as they were billions of years ago. For instance, the light from a galaxy 8 billion light-years away began its journey to us when the universe was only 5 billion years old. But what is truly astonishing? Due to the expansion of space, even if this galaxy is moving towards us, it is currently more than 12 billion light-years away. How is this possible? It happens because the space between us and this galaxy is expanding on its own. And this expansion, as scientists have discovered, is not uniform. Some regions expand faster than others. 80% of the universe consists of dark energy, a mysterious force that accelerates this expansion. Now, imagine if we could see the entire universe. We would find that many of the galaxies we see today no longer exist, as their light has not yet reached us. And the most astonishing thing is this. If the universe were to stop expanding right now, it would continue to exist in its current state for at least several billion years. But it doesn't stop. The rate of expansion is increasing, and this opens up new theories about the future of the cosmos. For example, what will happen when the distances between galaxies become so great that light from them cannot reach Earth? Will we discover a completely new reality, or will we find ourselves alone in the vast expanse? But that's not all. Have you ever imagined a future where the universe becomes so cold and sparse that stars simply stop shining? With every million years, as galaxies move away from each other, this will become a reality. And who knows what else might be hidden in these cosmic travelers that touch our planet every day? Among the vast expanses of space, there exist mysterious hot Neptunes, planets that resemble Neptune in size and composition, but are so close to their stars that the temperature of their surfaces reaches colossal thousands of degrees Celsius. Imagine a world where the atmosphere is heated to 1,000 degrees, and clouds are made not of water, but of metal vapors like iron and nickel. These exotic planets orbit their stars at distances much smaller than the distance from Earth to the Sun, creating unique conditions for study. Did you know that the atmospheric pressure on such planets can be hundreds of times higher than on Earth, and winds can reach speeds of over 400 kilometers per hour? Now imagine what storms might look like on these planets, when clouds of hot gases collide and form lightning that glows in brilliant colors. Scientists have discovered that on hot Neptunes, there can be oceans of molten rock, and this is just one of many astonishing facts revealed by studying these distant worlds. For example, the planet WASP 121b discovered in 2017, is a prime example of a hot Neptune with a temperature of around 1,000 degrees Celsius, making it an ideal candidate for studying extreme atmospheric conditions. In its atmosphere, molecules have been found that have never been encountered on Earth, such as water vapor, in conditions where it cannot exist in its usual form. But that's not all. Scientists suggest that these planets might also harbor other forms of life adapted to such extreme conditions. Isn't that intriguing? Compare this with our familiar planets. On Earth, the surface temperature varies from -40 to +50 degrees. On hot Neptunes, the temperature exceeds 1,000 degrees, making them resemble fiery spheres orbiting their stars like distant and dangerous neighbors. And perhaps it is they who will help us answer the question of why the universe is expanding at such an incredible speed. The Hubble Space Telescope is not just a tool for observing stars. It is a genuine time machine, revealing the mysteries of the universe to us. Over the course of its 30 years of operation, it has conducted over 1,400,000 observations, covering vast distances and studying galaxies that are billions of light years away from Earth. The data that Hubble has sent back to Earth amounts to approximately 150 terabytes, equivalent to storing 30 million high-resolution photographs. Imagine this. Each photograph is not just an image, but a whole story about how stars and galaxies formed. But that's not all. Hubble has witnessed events that are both shocking and captivating. For instance, it has captured the collision of galaxies, a breathtaking spectacle where two cosmic structures merge to form something entirely new. This phenomenon occurs with such force that trillions of stars can be ejected in the process. Can you imagine seeing star worlds being born and dying over the course of millions of years? And that's not even the most mind-blowing part. Hubble has made incredible discoveries in the field of exoplanets, helping astronomers find planets beyond our solar system. For example, it discovered an exoplanet in the habitable zone of its star, where conditions could be suitable for life. And the most astonishing thing? These data allow us not only to imagine, but also to analyze the possibility of life on other planets. The most significant discoveries of Hubble include detailed images of nebulae, such as the Orion Nebula, which is stunning in its beauty and complexity. These images show how stars are born from clouds of gas and dust, forming new solar systems. Furthermore, the telescope has helped astronomers understand that the universe is expanding, a discovery that has changed our understanding of the cosmos. But that's not all. Hubble has become the foundation for new theories about dark matter and dark energy, which make up the majority of our universe but remain invisible. In this context, the information it has gathered has opened a new era in astronomy. Now scientists can study not only what we see, but also what is hidden from our view. And imagine this. This work continues today, with each new day bringing fresh data and discoveries that could revolutionize our understanding of the cosmos. For example, recently Hubble observed galaxies in the process of formation. It's like looking into the past when the universe was young and full of energy. What are the secrets of the galaxies hidden in the shadow of this wall? Imagine a planet where beneath its surface lie vast reserves of diamonds, gleaming in the darkness. This is not science fiction, but reality for a planet known as 55 Cancri A. It is located approximately 40 light-years from Earth, in the constellation of Cancer. What makes this planet truly unique is that its composition, according to preliminary data from astronomers, includes a significant amount of carbon, which under immense pressure and temperature can form diamonds. The temperature on the surface of this planet reaches an incredible 2,000 degrees Celsius, while the pressure exceeds 1,000 atmospheres, creating ideal conditions for the formation of these precious stones. But that's not all. The size of 55 Cancri E is so impressive that its mass is 8 times that of Earth, and its radius is almost 2.5 times that of our planet. This means that on its surface, there could be mountains and plains comparable in size to our continents. Now, imagine that on such a planet, other forms of life could exist, adapted to these extreme conditions. Do you know that scientists suggest that there could even be oceans on this planet, not made of water, but of hydrocarbons, creating an even more mysterious atmosphere? These characteristics make it a subject of active study, and scientists continue to investigate how such planets can form in our galaxy. And here's where it gets really fascinating. Astronomers have discovered that there are many such diamond planets in our universe, each one potentially revealing information about chemical processes occurring in stellar systems. For example, some of them may contain up to 30% carbon in their composition, opening new horizons for understanding planetary evolution. But how do these planets influence the surrounding space, and could they ever become a home for life? And this is just a small part of what happens in the mysterious world of neutron stars. In the constellation of Aquarius, something astonishing is hidden. A cloud containing 140 trillion times more water than all the oceans of Earth combined. Imagine this immense water cloud stretching over millions of light years. To grasp the scale, consider 30 million billion litres of water. This amount of water could fill the entire surface of our planet to a depth of more than 300 kilometres. But this is not the most amazing part. This water cloud is in a state that scientists call interstellar. This means that the water is in the form of vapours, which can be either in the form of molecules or as part of various chemical compounds. What is even more shocking? The main mass of this cloud is contained within a single molecule called methanol, which plays a crucial role in the formation of new stars and planets. It is incredible, but such conditions can give rise to the emergence of life. The water in this cloud has a complex structure and is influenced by powerful magnetic fields, making its properties unique. For instance, the temperature in this cloud is around -200 degrees Celsius, which challenges traditional notions of how water can exist in such conditions. This discovery was made using radio telescopes that detected signals from these molecules at a distance of over 27 billion light-years from Earth. Scientists are still unable to fully understand how such a large amount of water could have formed in space. What do you think might be hidden in this mysterious corner of the universe? And what happens to these elements? They are redistributed throughout the galaxy, creating new worlds and opportunities for life. Traces of astronauts who walked on the surface of the Moon during the Apollo missions remain unchanged to this day, which means they could last there for millions of years. Imagine this. Footprints left by humans in conditions of almost complete lack of atmosphere and weightlessness are not subject to the same erosion processes that destroy traces on Earth. There is no rain, wind, or tectonic activity on the Moon that could erase them. In fact, these traces could remain as long as the ancient meteorite impacts on the lunar surface. And what's even more astonishing, many of these traces are up to 5 centimeters deep, making them easily visible even from orbit. These imprints are not just physical traces, but historical evidence of humanity's first steps into space. Astronauts even claim that part of the equipment left behind by astronauts remains in its original state due to the lack of solar ultraviolet radiation and radiation that would destroy metal as it does on Earth. And here's something even more shocking. There is no water on the Moon, which means rust is not an issue. Therefore, any metallic objects, such as the lunar module, could remain intact and undamaged until something extraordinary happens. The Apollo missions left behind not only traces, but also scientific instruments that continue to provide valuable data about the lunar surface. For example, more than 32,000 soil samples collected by astronauts are stored on Earth and help scientists better understand the geology of the Moon. And now, imagine that some of these samples could reveal the secrets of the Moon's formation and its history, spanning billions of years. And here's the most incredible part. In some cases, the concentration of ethanol in a cosmic cloud can exceed the concentration of hydrogen, which challenges our understanding of the chemical processes taking place in space. Giant cosmic cloud Sagittarius B2, located approximately 96,000 light-years from Earth, is a true wonder of the universe and contains incredible billions of litres of ethanol. Imagine a space where the concentration of this compound is 2 million times greater than the reserves on our planet. This cloud, covering an area equal to 33 trillion kilometres, is essentially a giant reservoir where ethanol molecules are formed through chemical reactions between gases and dust in the interstellar medium. And what's even more astonishing, in Sagittarius B2, it's not just ethanol, but its molecules can form under conditions that seem impossible on Earth. For instance, temperatures in this cloud can drop to minus 260 degrees Celsius, creating ideal conditions for the formation of complex organic compounds. But that's not the strangest thing. Scientists believe that it was in such clouds that the first building blocks of life could have originated, eventually ending up on planets like ours. How does this happen? When stars form from gas and dust, they release enormous amounts of energy, which can facilitate the formation of more complex molecules, including ethanol. In Sagittarius B2, not only ethanol molecules, but also other organic compounds such as methanol and formaldehyde have been found, making this cloud a real laboratory for chemists' astronomers. And what's even more shocking, research indicates that molecules similar to those that form amino acids, the building blocks of life as we know it, may exist in Sagittarius B2. Imagine if we could collect all the ethanol in this cloud. It would provide each person on Earth with more than 30 liters of this substance. But that's not the end. Scientists suggest that clouds like Sagittarius B2 could be widespread throughout the galaxy, opening up entirely new horizons for the search for life on other planets. Research suggests that dark matter might not be the only mystery. Some scientists propose the existence of dark energy, which makes up approximately 73% of the universe, and its role in the expansion of the cosmos may be even more significant. Dark energy is not just a concept, but a genuine mystery, accounting for approximately 68% of all matter in the universe. Imagine this. Our universe is not just expanding, it is accelerating. This means that galaxies are moving away from each other faster and faster, and no one knows why. One hypothesis suggests that dark energy creates a pressure opposite to gravity, which accelerates the expansion of space, as if someone were inflating a balloon, making it grow faster with each passing moment. Studies conducted with the Hubble Space Telescope indicate that dark energy may have started acting around 8 billion years after the Big Bang. And now, imagine that this mysterious energy could have its own nature, different from anything we know. While ordinary matter, from which stars and planets are made, is controlled by gravity, dark energy seems to govern the expansion of space. Did you know that dark energy might be the reason why there are far fewer galaxies in our universe than expected? And here's the most shocking fact. If it weren't for dark energy, our universe might have started to contract, and we would be witnessing stars and galaxies colliding. But that's not all. Some scientists even suggest that dark energy could be linked to quantum fluctuations in empty space. This means that powerful energy could be hidden everywhere around us, even in what appears to be empty space, capable of shaping the very structure of the universe. And what's even more intriguing, in the year 2010, an experiment was proposed that could either confirm or refute the existence of dark energy by observing the cosmic microwave background radiation. Imagine being able to peer into the very essence of the cosmos to understand what dark energy truly is. Research shows that this energy is evenly distributed throughout the universe, making it even more mysterious. In this sense, Voyager 1 has become not just a researcher, but also a guardian of a mystery that continues to unfold with each new signal. And in a few thousand years, when its signals reach the nearest stars, imagine who or what might hear them. According to the theory of inflation, our universe could be just one of many bubbles in an infinite multiverse ocean. Imagine this. The bubble we inhabit emerged only 10 to the power of minus 38 seconds after the Big Bang, as space began to expand rapidly. What is truly astonishing is that while our universe is expanding, in other bubbles, completely different things might be happening. For instance, in one bubble, conditions might be such that matter cannot form stars, while in another, the laws of physics could be entirely different from those in our universe. What does this mean? Each bubble is its own unique world, with its own properties. But how do they all interact? Some scientists suggest that the boundaries between bubbles might sometimes be permeable, with invisible bridges connecting them. Picture this. We could travel between these bubbles, discovering new worlds and laws that are completely different from what we know. For example, in one such bubble, gravity might work in the opposite direction, allowing objects to rise into the sky like balloons instead of falling to the ground. If we could verify this, what possibilities would open up for humanity? But this is not the most bizarre. In some theories, our universe is proposed to be just an experiment conducted by some highly advanced intelligence observing us from its own bubble. And here's where it gets really mind-boggling. Imagine that we are not the only forms of life, but just one of many observed species. How would you react if you found out that your life is part of a game where the rules can be changed on the fly? Scientists continue to discover new exoplanets with such strange orbits, and each time they are amazed at how unique our universe is. Cosmic strings? What do you think they are? These hypothetical one-dimensional defects could fundamentally alter our understanding of the structure of the universe. Imagine a line stretching through space-time, thinner than an atom, but possessing immense energy. One theory suggests that they formed in the earliest moments after the Big Bang, when temperatures reached trillions of degrees. It was in this chaos that strings could have emerged, which, according to physical models, are the fundamental elements from which all matter is constructed. The most astonishing part? These strings can vibrate and create complex structures in space-time that we cannot yet observe. It's like how the strings of a musical instrument create sounds. So cosmic strings can create fluctuations that we perceive as the fundamental forces of nature. But wait, there's more. Research indicates that cosmic strings may be linked to dark matter, which constitutes a staggering 26% of the energy in the universe. If this is true, their discovery could be one of the greatest scientific breakthroughs. Imagine if we could find evidence of their existence, and this would open up new horizons in physics that we can barely imagine. Furthermore, some scientists believe that these strings could influence gravity, altering its properties depending on their position. Have you ever thought about how this could affect our lives? For instance, if strings do exist, they could be the cause of anomalies in the motion of planets and stars. A true mystery. And it doesn't stop there. Cosmic strings can interact with other particles, creating new forms of matter that can be both stable and unstable. This opens the door to the creation of new technologies that could revolutionize our understanding of the possibilities of matter. Ultimately, all this leads us to a question. What if cosmic strings are the key to unraveling many of the universe's mysteries? And what's even more astonishing? And now imagine, it contains so much energy that in the future, it could become a powerful source of light for new astronomical discoveries. Imagine a star that shrinks to the size of a city but possesses a magnetic field 1,000,000,000,000 times stronger than Earth's. These mysterious objects, known as magnetars, are neutron stars formed from the collapse of massive stars. Remarkably, a single magnetar can generate magnetic fields with a strength of up to 1 billion Tesla. For comparison, Earth's magnetic field is only around 5/10 of a Tesla. Now, consider this. If the magnetic fields of magnetars are so strong that they can trigger powerful gamma-ray bursts, what effects might they have on the surrounding space? These bursts, resulting from the collision of magnetic fields, can release energy equivalent to millions of atomic bombs. But that's not all. Magnetars can attract matter with immense force. This is why they are surrounded by dust clouds and shattered stars that are torn apart by their powerful gravitational fields. Did you know that magnetars can rotate so quickly that their axis of rotation changes, creating a precession effect? This phenomenon makes them some of the most enigmatic objects in the universe. Moreover, scientists believe that such stars may exist in groups, forming magnetar systems that interact with each other, creating even more complex magnetic fields. If you think that's incredible, consider this. Magnetars can cause magnetic storms in space that can affect satellites and even Earth. Imagine the impact such events could have on our technological systems. Some researchers even suggest that studying magnetars could help unravel the mysteries of dark matter and energy. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Scientists continue to uncover new aspects of these mysterious objects. Researchers continue to study how smells affect the psychological state of astronauts during long missions. It's fascinating to think that in the coming years, we may learn even more about how space influences our senses and perception. On exoplanets of the hot Jupiter's class, the conditions for life are simply astonishing. Temperatures can reach thousands of degrees, and atmospheric phenomena are so extreme that they experience rainfalls of molten glass and iron. Imagine a world where precipitation is something that can cut through skin if you're on the surface. This happens because the atmosphere of these exoplanets is primarily composed of hydrogen and helium, but also contains significant amounts of heavy elements that burn at high temperatures. Winds on such planets can reach speeds of 5 to 7,000 kilometers per hour, which is comparable to the speed of sound on Earth. And this creates incredible conditions where drops of molten glass are torn from clouds and fall to the surface. What's even more remarkable? Due to such winds, drops can be accelerated to such speeds that they can damage any surface they hit. Some astronomers claim that on these planets, there could be permanent hurricanes formed due to the enormous temperature gradients between the day and night sides. Data suggests that temperatures on the day side can reach over 1,000 degrees Celsius, while on the night side, they can drop to minus 200 degrees. This extreme temperature change creates powerful convective currents that further intensify the wind speeds. But that's not all. Some astronomers even hypothesize that there could be clouds of crystalline iron on these planets, possibly formed due to the combination of high temperatures and pressure. While we ponder how atmospheric conditions develop on Earth, these exoplanets serve as true laboratories where physics and chemistry operate under extreme conditions. It's important to note that all these processes remain a mystery to scientists, as we can only observe them with powerful telescopes. Over the past few years, astronomers have discovered more than 30 such hot Jupiters, and each one opens new horizons for scientific research. For example, the exoplanet WASP-121b has such extreme conditions that it experiences rainfalls of molten glass. And this is just one example of how diverse and mysterious our cosmic neighbor is. For example, recently discovered exoplanets show that they too may have unique polar auroras capable of surprising even the most experienced astronomers. In our galaxy, according to recent research, there may be up to 40 billion planets located in what is known as the habitable zone of their stars. The habitable zone is the area around a star where conditions could be suitable for the existence of liquid, and thus life. Imagine this. Several planets could be orbiting a single star, each potentially hosting oceans and rivers. But that's not all. Scientific data indicates that out of these 40 billion planets, at least 8 billion have sizes comparable to Earth. This means they could have similar climatic conditions and geological activity, which are crucial for life's development. Now, consider that some of these planets could be just 25 light-years away from us. Yes, it's not science fiction. There are even specific candidates, such as Proxima Centauri b, which lies within the habitable zone of its star and has a mass similar to ours. But what about the atmosphere? Research shows that some of these exoplanets could have atmospheres containing oxygen and even liquid water. This discovery makes scientists wonder, could we ever find life on these distant worlds? What's even more fascinating, it is expected that in the coming years, with the help of the new James Webb Space Telescope, we will be able to study the atmospheres of exoplanets in the habitable zone in detail and possibly detect biosignatures, chemical traces indicating the presence of life. Isn't that exciting? The possibility of discovering other civilizations just 25 light-years away opens up incredible horizons for astronomy and the search for extraterrestrial life. These geysers could be active for just a few decades before freezing forever. Time waits for no one, and every moment on Enceladus could be part of great discoveries in the future. Did you know what star nurseries are? They're not just beautiful clouds in the sky, but real factories for creating stars. For instance, in the Eagle Nebula, you can see how new stars are born from giant gas clouds primarily made of hydrogen and helium. This nebula is about 2,500 light-years away from Earth and has a diameter of more than 30 light-years. Imagine, this volume could contain millions of suns. But that's not the most amazing part. Inside these clouds, where temperatures can reach several thousand degrees Kelvin, a complex process of gravitational collapse occurs. The gas clouds begin to compress under their own weight, and in their center, a protostar forms, the first stage of a star's life. When the temperature in the protostar's core reaches around 10 million degrees, a thermonuclear reaction begins. Hydrogen starts to convert into helium. And here's the question: how long does it take for a star to reach maturity? This process usually takes from several million to tens of millions of years, depending on the star's mass. But there's something even more astonishing. In the Eagle Nebula, you can observe not only the birth of stars, but entire groups of protostars forming simultaneously. For example, in an area known as the Ring, astronomers have discovered more than 100 protostars surrounded by dust disks, from which planets could potentially form in the future. But that's not all. Surrounding stars can emit powerful streams of material that, in turn, contribute to the formation of new stars. Imagine a scene where stars are literally helping each other to be born. In the Eagle Nebula, these processes occur against the backdrop of magnificent colored clouds that glow due to the radiation of young stars. And here's the craziest part. Some of these stars can be tens of times more massive than our Sun and ultimately explode as supernovae, leaving behind neutron stars or black holes. This serves as a reminder that stars not only are born, but also die, leaving traces in the cosmic space. Meanwhile, in these nurseries, all the elements necessary for creating planets, including our Earth, are formed. And the most remarkable thing, some scientists suggest that the volcano could even become active again, opening new horizons for future research. Imagine a neutron star rotating at a speed exceeding several hundred revolutions per second. One day on such a star might last only milliseconds. This means that in one Earth day, more than 7 million rotation cycles occur on a neutron star. How is this possible? The fact is that neutron stars are formed as a result of the collapse of massive stars, and their density becomes so high that the entire mass of the star is compressed into a volume comparable to a city. If you could stand on the surface of such a star, you would weigh more than a whole house due to gravity exceeding Earth's gravity by several billion times. And when the star starts rotating, this rotational speed can reach incredible values. For example, some of them, known as pulsars, can rotate up to 1,000 times per second, emitting powerful radio waves. Do you know that at the same time, their magnetic fields can be 1 billion times stronger than Earth's magnetic field? This creates remarkable conditions for studying physics in extreme situations. If you thought this was already extraordinary, imagine that if you could observe this neutron star, you would visually see it blinking at a frequency that exceeds human eye perception. But the adventures do not end there. Scientists have found that some neutron stars can also lose mass, ejecting it into space, which leads to the formation of powerful stellar winds. The most astonishing thing is that these stellar winds can reach speeds of up to 30 kilometers per second. This means they can scatter matter over vast distances, forming new stellar systems. And we still know so little about how such molecules could influence the process of life formation in conditions different from those on Earth. Pulsars. They are not just stars, but true cosmic clocks, rotating neutron stars that emit radio waves with such precision that they can be used to measure time with incredible accuracy. Imagine this. A pulsar can rotate at a speed of up to 700 revolutions per second, creating radio waves that reach Earth at intervals of 1 millisecond. This is equivalent to hearing a sound that repeats every 7 milliseconds, as if the heart of the cosmos itself is beating in your pocket. Now, imagine that these stars can serve as navigational beacons in the vast expanse of space, allowing astronomers to determine the position of objects in a galaxy with an accuracy of up to 30 kilometers. But that's not all. In the 20th century, astronomers discovered that pulsars can be used to test Einstein's theory of relativity. One of the most famous pulsars, PSRB 1913+16, turned out to be a real laboratory for studying gravitational waves. Research showed that its orbit is gradually decreasing, which confirms Einstein's predictions about how gravitational waves affect the movement of objects in space. And what's even more astonishing, pulsars not only serve as clocks, they can even indicate the presence of black holes. When a pulsar is in a binary system with a black hole, its radio waves are distorted by the gravitational field, allowing astronomers to detect black holes that would otherwise be invisible. 80% of known pulsars have been discovered using radio telescopes, and their number continues to grow thanks to the latest technologies. And in the year 2020, astronomers discovered a pulsar that rotates so quickly that its period is only 1.5 milliseconds. This discovery poses new challenges for scientists, as such extreme conditions may reveal secrets that we had not even suspected. An important point: the radio waves of pulsars can be used to test new technologies for communication in space. A system based on pulsars could become the foundation for future navigation on distant planets. And what is truly intriguing: pulsars can tell us about the state of our universe, as their brightness depends on the surrounding conditions. When astronomers study pulsars, they gain information about the distribution of matter in space, and this may change our understanding of dark matter. But there's more. Black holes can be the source of powerful X-ray radiation and other forms of energy that we observe in the cosmos, opening new horizons for exploration. Imagine a place in space where temperatures reach incredible values, below absolute zero, around minus 273.5 degrees Celsius. This is not just science fiction. Such a region truly exists in the Boomerang Nebula, located about 14,000 light-years from Earth. The uniqueness of this nebula lies in the fact that it is one of the coldest known objects in the universe. How is this possible? The reason lies in the fact that Boomerang is a planetary nebula formed as a result of the death of a star similar to our Sun, which expels its outer layers of gas. During this ejection, the gas temperature drops sharply, creating conditions that are hard to imagine. But what is truly astonishing? In this place, gas molecules practically stop moving, and their motion becomes so negligible that it is practically approaching absolute zero. It is interesting that in the Boomerang Nebula, the temperature is so low that water vapor molecules begin to condense into ice, forming clouds of ice crystals. These crystals can become large enough to be observed with powerful telescopes. But that's not all. In Boomerang, scientists have found traces of complex organic molecules, raising the question of whether such conditions could contribute to the formation of life. Who knows? Perhaps in such cold corners of the universe lie secrets that we have not yet deciphered. And here is where it gets most fascinating. In the Boomerang Nebula, powerful gas outbursts are observed, which can reach speeds of up to 100 kilometers per second. This means that around the star, processes are taking place that can shed light on how stars and planets form in conditions of extremely low temperatures. But the most amazing thing is that in different parts of this nebula, the temperature varies, creating conditions for studying incredible physical phenomena. And this only fuels interest in further research. What do you think might still be hidden beneath its scorching atmosphere? At the northern pole of Saturn, a hexagonal storm is hidden, its dimensions defying imagination. Its diameter is approximately 25,000 kilometers. It's as if a giant hexagon that has been there for decades. Moreover, the storm rotates at an astonishing speed, reaching almost 30 meters per second. How is this possible? The complex dynamics of Saturn's atmosphere create unique conditions that facilitate the formation of these hexagonal structures. But that's not all. Within this turbulent structure, there are vortices that reach heights of several kilometers, and their powerful winds can easily blow away anything in their path. Imagine a wind so strong that it can move clouds of ammonia crystals over vast distances. And what's even more astonishing? The storm emits bright ultraviolet light that can be observed from space. This light phenomenon is likely related to chemical reactions in the atmosphere occurring at an altitude of around 100 kilometers. Research conducted by the Cassini mission has shown that the storm changes its shape and size, but its hexagonal structure remains stable. If you thought that was all, prepare for more. The temperature inside the storms fluctuates around minus 100 degrees Celsius, making Saturn's atmosphere one of the most extreme in the solar system. What else do these mysterious clouds hide? The storm not only impresses with its size, but is also a significant object for studying meteorology on other planets. Scientists hope that understanding the processes occurring in this storm can help unravel the secrets of atmospheric phenomena on Earth. And here's where it gets really mind-boggling. Brown dwarfs can even interact with other stars, influencing their orbits and behavior. Ahead of us lie incredible discoveries that are just around the corner. In the center of the galaxy M87, there is a supermassive black hole with a mass of 6.5 billion solar masses. Imagine something so massive that even light cannot escape its gravity. But the most astonishing thing happened in 2019. Scientists for the first time obtained an image of this black hole thanks to the Event Horizon Telescope project. This project combined 8 radio telescopes around the world, working together as a single entity to create a virtual telescope the size of Earth. And here is where things get truly extraordinary. The image of the black hole was obtained by analyzing data collected over several days with such high resolution that it allowed seeing the shadow of the black hole against the hot gas rotating around it. This shadow has a diameter approximately twice that of the solar system, and the black hole is surrounded by an accretion disk where temperatures reach millions of degrees. But what is even more astonishing? This is not just a black hole, but one of the brightest objects in the universe, emitting a large amount of radio waves. When astronomers studied this phenomenon, they found that the black hole rotates at an incredible speed, reaching almost 100% of the rotation limit, creating a powerful gravitational field. M87 has become not only an object of interest for astronomers, but also a symbol of new technologies in astronomy, allowing us to look into the very depths of the cosmos. And it turns out that black holes can not only absorb matter, but also eject jets that stretch for thousands of light years, like cosmic beacons. This discovery changes our understanding of the formation and evolution of galaxies. It turns out that many galaxies may have such black holes at their centers, raising new questions about the structure and dynamics of our universe. It is intriguing that black holes may be connected to how galaxies grow and develop, creating a fascinating paradox. The larger the black hole, the more it influences the surrounding space. And just when it seems that we are on the verge of unraveling all the mysteries of black holes, astronomers are already planning new missions to delve deeper into the study of this enigmatic phenomenon. These phenomena are called relativistic jets, and they can reach speeds close to the speed of light. Dark matter is a mysterious component of the universe that accounts for approximately 27% of its mass, yet remains completely invisible to us. Imagine being in a room filled with furniture, but you can't see it. That's how we perceive dark matter. It neither emits nor absorbs light, making it undetectable directly. However, its presence is felt through its gravitational influence on visible objects such as stars and galaxies. For instance, observations of the movement of stars in spiral galaxies show that their speeds are too high to be explained by known matter alone, indicating the existence of dark matter, which acts like an invisible web connecting these stars. But that's not all. When astronomers study gravitational lenses, they find that light from distant galaxies is bent by the gravity created by dark matter. This discovery not only confirms its existence, but also helps scientists estimate the amount of dark matter in certain regions of the cosmos. What's even more astonishing is that dark matter might not be matter in the conventional sense at all, but exotic particles like WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles, which are still in the theoretical research and search phases. Research into these particles is conducted in underground laboratories, such as the Super Kamiokande laboratory in Japan, where scientists try to detect interactions between dark matter and ordinary matter. But here's the question. If dark matter is so important, how can we not see it? The answer lies in the fact that it interacts only with gravity and possibly one or two other forces in nature, but not with the electromagnetic force, making it invisible to our telescopes. This raises an intriguing question. If we can't observe dark matter, how can we be sure of its existence? The answer lies in complex mathematical models and observations that confirm its role in shaping the structure of the universe. Scientists believe that without dark matter, the existence of galaxies as we know them would be impossible. Research shows that it contributes to the formation of galactic clusters, acting like a magnet. However, many questions about its nature remain unanswered. For example, what is its exact mass, and what properties does it possess? And what's even more astonishing, These observations help us understand how our own galaxy, the Milky Way, could have formed billions of years ago. With each new discovery, Hubble continues to amaze, and who knows what mysteries it will reveal in the future. Imagine a region beyond Neptune's orbit where countless icy objects are hidden. This is not just the imagination of astronomers. The Kuiper Belt, as it is called, stretches more than 30 astronomical units from the Sun and is home to thousands of objects that could change our understanding of the formation of the solar system. Did you know that this belt contains more than 30,000 objects larger than 100 kilometers in diameter? This is a true icy country, where Pluto, once considered the ninth planet, is just one of many. But what is truly astonishing? Some of these objects have orbits so elongated that their full orbit around the Sun can take up to 35,000 years. And now, imagine that among these icy bodies, there are even those that have moons, like our own Saturn. One of the brightest stars of this belt is Eris, which is almost as large as Pluto and has a substantial atmosphere of methane, making it one of the most intriguing targets for future research. If you thought all icy bodies in this region are the same, here's an interesting fact. The temperature on the surface of these objects can drop to minus 200 degrees Celsius. This means the conditions there are so harsh that even water molecules freeze into ice. But that's not all. Some researchers suggest that the Kuiper Belt may contain remnants of materials from which planets were formed, and studying these objects could provide the key to unraveling the mysteries of the early solar system. The most intriguing part? Scientific missions like New Horizons have already begun to explore this mysterious region, and perhaps we are on the verge of discoveries that will revolutionize our understanding of the cosmos. In space, there exist objects that challenge our understanding of what a star or planet is. These mysterious brown dwarfs have a mass insufficient for nuclear fusion, but sufficient to be considered more than just planets. The most intriguing aspect is that their mass ranges from 30 to 75 times that of Jupiter, making them 10 times more massive than the most massive planets in our solar system. But that's not all. Brown dwarfs emit heat, but not light, like stars, and give the impression of being in a transitional state between two worlds. The first such objects were identified in 1995 when astronomers discovered a brown dwarf named Luhar, located just 35 light-years from Earth. But here's the mind-blowing part. Brown dwarfs can form in the same way as stars, from clouds of gas and dust. But if they don't accumulate enough mass to reach nuclear temperatures, they remain in this transitional state, becoming dark and cold objects. What's even more astonishing is that they can have planets orbiting around them, making them potentially interesting for study, as such systems can shed light on the process of star and planet formation. Brown dwarfs may even be more common than stars. According to some estimates, there could be 2 to 3 brown dwarfs for every star in a galaxy. This discovery raises many questions for scientists. What are the conditions on their planets? Could there be life forms different from those we know? These objects, with temperatures around 1,000 degrees Celsius, may harbour secrets that will change our view of life beyond Earth. But the most astonishing thing is that scientists are only beginning to realise that black holes may participate in the most extreme processes in the cosmos, forming worlds and stars around them. In star systems, astronomers have discovered exotic planets that challenge all our theories on planet formation. These hot Jupiters, gas giants that orbit their stars in the opposite direction, raise numerous questions. Imagine a planet just 30 million kilometres from its star, where temperatures exceed 1,000 degrees Celsius. It's as if Earth were only a step away from the Sun instead of 150 million kilometres. Moreover, some of these planets have orbital periods as short as 2 days. How is this possible? Usually, planets form from a rotating disk of gas and dust, and their orbits should follow the general direction of the star's rotation. But here, we encounter a real mystery. How could planets like WASP 121b reverse their orbits and start moving in the opposite direction? Research suggests that such planets could have been captured by other celestial bodies, or even interacted with other planets, causing them to change their orbits. It's like 2 cars at an intersection suddenly swapping places, creating chaos. And that's not all. The atmospheres of these hot Jupiters are filled with water vapor, carbon monoxide, and even iron in gaseous form. Yes, you heard it right. Iron. Scientists believe that on these planets, extreme conditions allow elements that are solid on Earth to exist in gaseous form. For instance, the planet HD 189733b boasts winds reaching 200 kilometers per hour, creating real hurricanes of glass particles that fly like bullets. Can it be that there's nothing more? But wait, there are even more astonishing discoveries. In some cases, astronomers have observed that hot Jupiters can somehow travel between stars, moving to other systems. This process, known as migration, challenges our understanding of the stability of star systems. How can they survive in such chaos? It turns out that gravitational forces from other massive bodies can influence their orbits and even their composition. For example, some of these planets may lose their gaseous envelopes due to intense radiation from nearby stars. As a result, only their cores remain, creating entirely new types of planets that can be called naked cores. This discovery changes everything we knew about planets and their evolution. And the most amazing thing? And the question remains, what else does the cosmos hide, waiting for us to discover it? The planet WASP-12b is so close to its star that the temperature on its surface reaches an incredible 4,000 degrees Kelvin, which is equivalent to more than 3,000 degrees Celsius. This results in an extraordinary evaporation of its atmosphere. Approximately 430 tons of material evaporate from the planet each hour. But what is even more astonishing? The shape of this planet resembles an egg. And this is not a coincidence. The gravitational forces of its star are so powerful that they deform WASP-12b, causing it to take this unusual shape. Imagine a planet that is not only hot, but also literally melting under the influence of its star. When scientists first observed it, they noticed that its atmosphere consists mainly of hydrogen and helium, but also contains heavy elements such as sodium, which is surprising for a planet so close to a star. This discovery was made possible through spectroscopy, which allowed the light of the star to be broken down into its components and reveal the chemical composition of the atmosphere. But this is not all. On WASP-12b, an amazing phenomenon occurs when clouds of metallic vapors, such as iron, can form and condense in the atmospheric layers. How is this possible? This is explained by the fact that the pressure on the planet is such that gaseous elements can transition to a liquid state. Do you know what is even more astonishing? Due to this constant evaporation and gravitational compression, WASP-12b is losing its mass at an incredible speed, raising questions about its long-term existence. Every few million years, it may completely disappear, leaving only traces in the cosmos. Despite all these extreme conditions, scientists continue to study this mysterious planet to understand what forms of life, if any, could withstand such conditions. Some scientists propose that they could serve as the foundation for a theory that unites quantum mechanics and general relativity. Polar auroras are also observed on other planets. And you know what's most astonishing? On Jupiter, these light shows can be hundreds of times more powerful than on Earth. These giant light vortices arise due to the interaction of solar wind with the planet's magnetic field. Imagine, Jupiter's magnetic field is 70 times stronger than Earth's, creating unique conditions for aurora formation. When solar wind particles collide with Jupiter's atmosphere, they cause luminosity that can be seen from Earth, like seeing lights on the horizon, but millions of times brighter. Jupiter's polar auroras can reach heights of up to 400 kilometers, and their color range varies from bright green to deep red, creating a mesmerizing spectacle. But that's not all. On Saturn, famous for its rings, polar auroras differ in shape and brightness. They appear as massive spirals rotating around the planet's poles and can grow to sizes comparable to entire planets. Note that polar auroras are also observed on Uranus and Neptune, although they are less powerful than those on the previously mentioned planets. For instance, on Neptune, auroras arise due to complex processes in its atmosphere, and although they are not as bright, their unique blue hue attracts the attention of astronomers. Scientists are still studying how these auroras are connected to the planet's climatic conditions and magnetic fields. What other surprises might our solar system hold? The universe is not just an infinite space. It is a mystery filled with paradoxes and uncertainty that continues to amaze scientists and astronomy enthusiasts around the world. In space, sound as we know it simply cannot exist. The vacuum that prevails between stars and planets does not allow sound waves to propagate. However, what is truly remarkable is that in this silent expanse, there are electromagnetic oscillations that can be converted into sound. For instance, the Cassini spacecraft, which studied Saturn, recorded such oscillations that were converted into audio files, allowing us to hear the cosmos. These conversions are not just interesting. They help scientists better understand the atmospheres of planets, the interaction of magnetic fields, and even the activity of solar winds. Did you know what cosmic wind is? It is a stream of charged particles released by solar radiation, and its interaction with the magnetic fields of planets creates sounds that NASA records and analyzes. For example, when the solar wind interacts with Earth's magnetosphere, it causes oscillations that can sound like low, muffled basses, as if someone is playing on a giant organ. But that's not all. Studying electromagnetic waves allows us to find exoplanets. How? When the light of a star passes through the atmosphere of a planet, electromagnetic oscillations change. And by analyzing these changes, scientists can hear the composition of the atmosphere. They convert the data into sound waves, creating a captivating symphony that tells the story of cosmic objects. But here's a question. What if we try to listen to black holes? They produce oscillations that can be interpreted as low rumbles or crackles, and NASA is already working on systems that could help with this. So, when you look at the night sky, remember, even if you don't hear anything, the cosmos is filled with an endless symphony of mysteries and enigmas. Did you know that some of these sounds can be captured even with radio telescopes? Imagine a planet where a day lasts longer than a year. On Venus, this is a reality. A full rotation around its axis takes 243 Earth days, while a complete orbit around the Sun takes only 225 days. Consider this. While we wake up and go to sleep every night on Earth, on Venus, dawn might only arrive after several months. This leads to an incredible alteration in the perception of time for any hypothetical life on this planet. But that's not all. Venus rotates in the opposite direction, so if you stood on its surface, the Sun would rise in the west and set in the east. Have you ever thought about what it would be like to witness such a celestial spectacle? Additionally, Venus's atmosphere is 30 times denser than Earth's and consists mainly of carbon dioxide, creating a greenhouse effect that raises the surface temperature to an astonishing 460 degrees Celsius. This makes Venus the hottest planet in the solar system, despite Mercury being closer to the Sun. Do you think it's possible that life ever existed on such a hot planet? Given these conditions, any forms of life that might have emerged here would be completely different from Earth's. But that's not the most astonishing fact. Venus's clouds are made of sulfuric acid, making its atmosphere not only uninhabitable, but also extremely aggressive. What's even more remarkable? Scientists suggest that in the past, Venus could have had conditions similar to Earth's, including oceans and a moderate climate. But how did this change? The answer to this question remains a mystery for scientists. Despite all the challenges, Venus continues to captivate astronomers who strive to unravel its secrets. For instance, recently it was discovered that some areas of its surface are only about 300 million years old, indicating active geological processes. Scientists believe that Venus might not be dead, but could even have volcanic activity. What's even more astonishing? Magnetars may exist for only a few thousand years before they begin to lose their strength. On Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, something extraordinary is happening. Geysers are erupting from cracks in the icy crust, reaching heights of up to 500 kilometers. Imagine this. Streams of water, expelled into open space, form clouds that can even outshine the most powerful comets. These remarkable water fountains, composed of a mixture of liquid and ice, were first observed in 2005 by the Cassini mission. What's most intriguing? These geysers are not just spewing water. Analysis shows they contain not only water molecules, but also complex organic compounds that could hold the key to understanding the origins of life. When the Cassini probe flew by, it detected gases like carbon dioxide and methane, indicating active geological processes beneath the icy crust. But there's more. Scientists suspect that beneath this icy layer lies an ocean, with a depth of more than 100 kilometers. Picture this: an entire ecosystem, similar to those found in Earth's deep oceans, could be hidden beneath the surface. These geysers, with their powerful water jets, not only provide a breathtaking spectacle, but also offer a unique opportunity to study the chemical composition of the subsurface ocean. Research shows that temperatures in these waters can reach 100 degrees Celsius, opening the door to the possibility of life in extreme conditions. What's truly astonishing is that Enceladus is one of the few places in our solar system where scientists can search for signs of life without leaving their home planet. Scientific teams are already planning new missions to study these geysers in more detail and take samples to uncover what lies beneath the icy shell. And what's even more shocking,